Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Fly With Us podcast. This podcast is bringing the art of conversation, self love, self care, mental health care and protection, life lessons, love lessons, and everything in between. Today, we're going to talk about fine tuning your self care. I'm Lady Bounce.
And I am Picket Fence. Today's Mindfulness Minute is called Learning to Love the Body. I accept my body as a vehicle through life. I care for my body in the best way that I know, honoring it in this short journey through my present incarnation. When I was a kid, I used to make little folded paper boats and float them down the stream in our neighborhood. They would tumble down rapid swirls and eddies, and eventually get waterlogged and no longer float. The human body is like that little paper boat. It goes along joyfully through the rapids of life, and then at some point, slowly or all of a sudden, it no longer works. We must learn to love our bodies while we have them, whether they work well or not at the moment. Perhaps today you are feeling pain in some part of your body or hating some aspect of your physical form. Take the time now to notice the pain or discomfort. Notice the sensation of your body in its intimate detail. Send feelings of love and appreciation towards your body, especially the parts that are causing you the most discomfort. Notice the temporary nature of your body and resolve and take care of it while you can. The best of your ability. Word up.
As you say, word up. That was fantastic. So as you can all see, we are joined by a special guest, and her bio is extensive. Like, I am jealous. I feel like somewhere I went wrong in my life because I don't have this much stuff on my resume. But Miss Niamh O'Brien is a cacao medicine woman, a biofuel tuner, a shamanic student, a physiotherapist, a retreat leader, a world explorer, and a peace seeker. Whew! How have
Wow.
you found the time?
Wow.
So welcome to the show.
Hi, lady. Hi, Picket. Hello, all beautiful listeners. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I absolutely love the message that you guys are spreading. So thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for being here.
Beautiful. So I'm Niamh, Cacao Medicine woman and Biofuel tuner. Originally from Ireland, I have spent a lot of time traveling, and in this moment, I'm currently residing in Portugal. And this broadcast is actually coming from a beautiful windmill here in Portugal.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That sounds amazing. Tell us, how did you get started in your work?
So in the past, I was working as a physiotherapist, and at that point, I was living in Abu Dhabi. A beautiful lady offered me a free 20-minute biofield tuning session. This was around 3 years ago, and at that point, I had no idea about energy healing or energy medicine. So she sat me down, and after around 5 minutes, I was having a big emotional release. And this lady was able to relay back to me at exactly what age she was finding trauma in my field and what it was related to. After this session, something really shifted in me. When I went outside, I was sitting on the grass and everything just seemed really clear. And at that point, the only words I could describe it as was, I felt really healthy. So when I looked up what this technique is, one of the first things that the lady, her name is Eileen McCusick, she's from Vermont. One of the first things that she speaks about is anybody can learn how to do this. You don't have to be spiritual or have a sixth sense. So in that moment, I made a decision that I was going to learn how to do this. I didn't know where, I didn't know how, but I really, had to follow that calling. So around 3 years ago then, I started to learn about biofuel tuning. I did 2 training courses. And from then I let go of my job as a physiotherapist and started this energy medicine called biofuel tuning. And from there, things just grew and I started my own business. And yeah, that's how I got into it, because it helped me heal and it helped me come back to who I really am. And this is the message that I share with my clients and everyone, is to return back to that inner part of ourselves. And through medicine like cacao and biofuel tuning, that's the way I assist my clients.
Okay, so now for those of us who don't know, what exactly is biofuel tuning? What does that mean?
Yes, so it's a fairly new technique. A lady from Vermont 25 years ago discovered this technique, and I use tuning forks to tune up the human body, the human energy field, the same way that you might tune up an old guitar. So it's a form of energy medicine. And I start at the time you were in your mum's womb, and I work all my way up until your current age, listening and feeling for any times of stress, turbulence, or trauma. And if I get stuck at a particular age, for example, age 20, I'm feeling a resistance and I can clearly hear that there's a change in the tuning fork sound, I know then that there is some energy there to be released. So we hang out at that age for a couple of strikes until the energy has been released, and then the tuning fork allows me to continue up through the timeline. So in this way, we release trauma or energy from the past, and we send it back into your body, back into the present moment. So you don't forget the memory from the past, from that age, but you discharge from how you felt at that time. So the next time, for example, you face a sadness, you don't have a knee-jerk response to how you reacted in the past. You are grounded in your body, the person you are today, and you can deal with things with more resilience. So it let go of a lot of physical stress in the body, emotional and mental stress. So we clear up the aura, the energy field. We send that energy that you left behind into your body, into the present moment. It's like you might see somebody who's going through a particularly rough time. They've no light in their face, they've no light in their soul or their body. And it's because at that time we are actually shedding light into the field around us. So until we go back and release that trauma or that stress, it's there in the field, it's in the body. So, it can lead to things like further stress or anxiety or depression. But when we can treat it back at the root cause, it discharges the energy, so you can move forward with your life as opposed to clinging on to things from the past.
Wow.
That sounds amazing. Amazing, truly amazing. And you mentioned cacao medicine. Tell us a little bit about that.
So cacao is a plant medicine that comes mainly from South America, Peru, or Guatemala. Cacao comes from the theobromine tree. Theobromine is a cardiovascular stimulant. So when we ingest a lot of theobromine, it allows for the soft muscle of the heart on a very physical level to soften and expand. And the same with the blood vessels and the veins. So the body comes into a state of relaxation, the blood pressure drops, cholesterol drops, but you're also very focused and very calm. Along with the theobromine, it has a lot of anandamide, which is the bliss chemical, and phenyllethylamine, which is the love chemical. Our bodies produce these chemicals naturally. However, in the fast-paced society, there's a lot of adrenaline, cortisol, so that overrides these feelings of love and bliss. So when we drink the cacao medicine, we're drinking a lot of theobromine, phenyllethylamine, and anandamide. So we come into this real soft place, but also very focused, very calm in the present moment. We feel a lot of joy, a lot of love. It's like the honeymoon phase. When you first fall in love, you feel super light. Nothing really phases you, and you don't feel heavy. You feel a lot of love. So this is what the cacao medicine does. Along with this, it has a lot of magnesium, which is really good for brain concentration, manganese, copper, iron sulfate. So it really is a super food.
Wow, that's amazing. So, how does the biotuning like soothe and treat the past traumas? I know you talked about how it releases, the energy around it. So this electromagnetic field, like, do we all have one of those? Like, have you ever encountered somebody that doesn't have one?
Yeah. So the human body, it has an electrical charge running through it. So the nervous system runs on electricity going through it. The brain fires electricity. The heart has an electrical pulse. The bones are piezoelectric crystalline structures, so they produce light and energy. And also our blood is salt water, so that has an electrical charge. So we know that anything that has electricity running up through it creates a magnetic field. So it's within this magnetic field, this is the biofield, the aura or the energy field. Within this biofield is where we find energy and information to do with our lifetime. So there's nowhere in science or anywhere that says that we hold memories in the brain or in the body in that aspect. So it's within this energy field that we find information and memories. It's like around the earth we have the ionosphere, around the sun we have the heliosphere, around the human body we have the biofield, this electromagnetic field. So as we go through life, when we encounter times of stress, turbulence, or trauma, we leak light into the field. And then I go back with a tuning fork and I collect the light. So sound has magnetic qualities. And I click, drag and drop all the way from birth up until your current age, collecting all those little parts of yourself that you left behind and you didn't even know. So when we deposit this light back into the body, back into the main chakra system, back into the main electrical system of the body, you get this part of yourself back. So you feel light, you feel present, you feel grounded. So like that, you become very resilient in the face of unavoidable daily stressors. And like I mentioned, you don't forget the trauma, you don't forget the memory, but you can deal with it in a much better, lighter way because you don't have that electrical bond or that energetic cord to the past. It's like sonic soul retrieval. You get that part of yourself back so you can really be present and then also have so much space within you to move forward.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. Now tell us about being a student, a shamanic student, and how did you get on that path?
Yeah, for me, let's say my trauma began when I was 12. My mum transformed into the spirit world. When I was 21, I developed a very dysfunctional relationship with food and body image. I was trying different things like meditation, reading books, and nothing was really helping me in the way that I needed help. I needed to go a bit deeper. So at this point, I decided to work with shamans from South America, from Brazil, and started working with the plant medicine of Ayahuasca, if you're aware of that. Mm-hmm. And that really, really enhanced my healing, to let go of things from the past that were just getting a bit stuck. And this was around 3 years ago. And since then, I've been working with the shamans. So working with plant medicine like Ayahuasca and Kambo and Hape. There's a lot of messages that they bring from the forest. And so working with these medicines as a shamanic student with these same 3 shamans from South America.
Wow. So as you're talking about, balancing and everything, what are some ways that we can keep ourselves balanced, with the traumas and the stresses of the world? So in between our biotuning sessions, how can we keep ourselves balanced?
I am a big advocate for the earth, for Mother Nature. I find standing on the ground in your bare feet, connecting to the electromagnetic field of the earth, and really that will really help to cleanse your body, to cleanse your energy field. Very often we spend a lot of time indoors, and especially wearing rubber sole shoes, and that's an insulator. So the electromagnetism from the earth is coming up, bouncing off the rubber sole shoes and going back into the earth. So we're not getting this natural impulse of energy to cleanse the body. So for me, it's really important to connect to the earth. And I know that some people may live in really cold climates, so it's hard to get your bare feet on the earth. But even just getting your hands, or hugging a tree, or getting your hands on some wood, and really being present with that energy, and just inviting it into your body to cleanse and discharging whatever feels a bit stuck, whatever emotion, whether it's anger, fear, or distress. Really just exhaling that out of the body through the earth, because she can take it. Another thing that I really find beneficial is deep breathing. So often we breathe from the upper chest, and that can often propel into shallow breathing, may lead to discomfort around the heart center, around the chest, which shows up, people may describe as feelings of anxiety and worry. So when you can really take a deep belly breath from your lower tummy, even bringing that breath into your hips, again, this allows the body to switch from the fight or flight response down into the rest and digest phase. So it brings a lot of softness and calmness back into the body.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. And with all the work that you do in helping people, how do you make time, and what do you do for self-care?
So for me, self-care is a priority. I meditate, and I also do a lot of my own biofuel tuning recordings. So the brilliant thing about biofuel tuning is that it is an energy exchange, it's a vibrational healing. So you don't have to be live on the call to receive the healing. So all of my work at the moment is done over Zoom, it's done online. It's not done in person, because as I said, we're working with the element of ether. So it's much higher than we can imagine. I listen to my biofuel tuning recordings, and I have many of those on YouTube. So if people find me on Instagram, there's a link then to my Biofuel YouTube channel. So there's loads of free little mini 20-minute sessions there on YouTube. So anybody listening, you can go on my YouTube channel, and you can be lying down or sitting up, whatever is most comfortable for you, and just play one of the recordings. It's not about the sound quality, it's about the vibrational transmission and the healing through energy. So you can lie down, and even if you fall asleep, that's okay. It still works the same way.
Wonderful, wonderful. And before we wrap up, please tell the people your IG handle and any other way that they can get in touch with you about your services.
Yes, so you can find me on Instagram at Biofuel with Niamh, or the same for Facebook and YouTube. And I also have a website, biofuelwithniamh.com. There's loads of free resources there. I spread a lot of messages about healing, growth, and consciousness expansion. So if anybody wants to get in contact or hear more about the work that I'm doing and the life that I'm living in service to the community, then definitely check it out. And please don't be shy. Send me a message if you have any questions. I know that what I've shared today is probably a lot of new information, but also very exciting. And as I always say, words don't teach, experience teaches. So please head over to my Instagram and YouTube and experience this profound healing for yourself.
Incredible, incredible. I know people will be hitting you up once this show airs. It sounds truly inspiring and amazing. We want to thank you for being a part of the show, and we would like to have you come back because I know the show is short. So please come back in the near future so we could chat some more and expand people's mind. Before we get out of here, I want to get into one of my favorite parts of the shows. Doom, 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 doom. Brain science, science, science.
Okay, so today we've had a really interesting conversation about biofuel tuning and fine-tuning our self-care, which I got a lot of tips. I was taking notes the whole time, and I definitely will be watching for those YouTube videos. So I'm going to tell you 3 techniques for biofuel tuning. There are 3 powerful techniques to bring equilibrium to an individual's nervous system and activate the body's innate self-healing abilities. The first is physical resonance. So using a person's fundamental frequency to bring their nervous system into homeostasis, which is out of that fight or flight loop that we always talk about. Since the brain's function is to coordinate and direct the function of all other systems, we should see a global balancing of all the body's systems at the moment the brain is exposed to its own single fundamental sound frequency. The next is brainwave entrainment to various states of consciousness, delta, theta, alpha, etc., to affect the healing at the physical, emotional, and mental levels. Synchronization of the right and left brain hemispheres also occurs through the use of binaural beats. I play those in my classroom. To learn about the powerful effects of the hemisphere synchronations, see different things online about binaural beats, what they do for the brain. There's some excellent YouTube channels that have binaural beats, and they go for hours. The playlists are amazing. So the third thing is primordial sounds to awaken deep levels of recognition in the subconscious mind. This technique is nature sounds, so ocean waves, birds, dolphins, space sounds, etc., that are primordially recognizable to the subconscious mind, regardless of your race, your sex, or your language. The goal is to bring the person's nervous system into homeostasis, meaning that the energies that normally go toward executing a stress response, an elevated heart rate, increased blood sugar, and increased adrenaline and cortisol, those things get redirected toward working on the body's list of priorities for repair and regeneration in a parasympathetic healing state. During this window of opportunity for natural healing work, the brain is simultaneously being gently entrained to various states of consciousness to affect healing at the physical, mental, and emotional states. One of the best parts of this intense neuroacoustic sound work is that the sessions on the sound table are deeply relaxing and leave you with the feeling of just melting into the tables as you are enveloped in full body vibrational sensations.
Wow, wow. And Niamh, what would you add on to that?
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. I mean, the human body is, it will attune itself. It will tune itself. So when we put in coherent frequencies that are more aligned, it starts to break away the discoherent vibrations that are in the energy field around the body. And the binaural beats, yeah, that's beautiful. In the beginning of all of my sessions, I will use binaural beats to help bring the brainwaves from beta, which is quite an active, interactive brainwave state, down into the alpha theta cusp, which is a very meditative inward state. So you don't even have to do anything. Your body will tune itself into these frequencies. So it's a very easy way to meditate. It's a very easy way to come into the present moment and to remember that everything is vibration and everything is frequency. So when you can be in environments that support a good frequency, a good vibration like nature, you're really going to support how you're feeling and how you're thinking.
Dope. Amazing, raising. And once again, we want to thank you. We could probably talk about this for hours. So we definitely want to have you come back and talk some more with us, and so our listeners can get a better understanding of different modalities that they can tap into.
Brilliant. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's our show for this week. We'd like to thank Niamh for being a part of it. Please make sure you go to her IG, her YouTube, check her out so that we can all start this healing process, and then tell a friend about it. So that we want to heal ourselves and the world around us so that we can all be the best versions of ourselves.
I like it. So, as a part of our special guest, she is actually going to give away a 15-minute session. So we're going to get the rest of the details on that. And when this show is posted, we'll let you know how you can get in touch with Niamh and maybe schedule your own biofuel tuning session, even if you don't win the contest, to win the free session. And like Pickett said, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and wherever you get your favorite podcast. I'm Lady Bounce.
And I am Picket Fence.
And she is Niamh. And we thank you again. This was so enlightening and so much information. It was beautiful. I feel relaxed. Your voice is so calming and relaxing. Mm-hmm. It was just a really great show. And with that,
thank you so much. Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you for listening, everyone. You're all beautiful.
I love it. So again, I'm Lady Bounce. He's Picket Fence.
I'm Niamh O'Brien. Word
up. We out of here. Peace.
It's your girl, Lady Bounce.
And your boy, Picket Fence.
We have an exciting contest for you. If you watch this episode in its entirety, send us an email at flywithusla@gmail.com and answer this question. What did Niamh say she does when she encounters a blockage during a tuning session?
Word up. Answer this question, send us an email, and you will be entered into a contest to win a free 15-minute session with Niamh.